Your hands stopped hurting. That should be good news. It's not. They stopped hurting because your nerves can't register what's happening to them anymore. It's 5:30 in the morning in Dongguan in Guangdong Province, southern China. You are 8 years old. The factory has been running for 40 minutes. You'll stay here until 10 at night, 16 hours. You do this math every morning, staring at the sewing machine that towers over you. You shouldn't be here. There's a place called school. Quote, you went for 2 years when you lived with your grandparents in the village of Hunan. You learned to write your name and count to 200. Then your mother came. She said she had work in the city. She said you were going with her. She didn't say what would actually happen, probably because she didn't know either. The factory sits in a gray 6-story building in an industrial zone with no name on the signs, just a number. Number 17. 230 workers total. 42 are under 15 years old. No adult tells you this. You know because you count things. It's the only math left from school. The factory owner is called Mr. Liu. You've never seen his face clearly. He shows up once a week in a car from far away. The supervisors run everything. 3 per shift. They walk between the rows of machines with expressions that don't invite conversation. One carries a wooden stick that he bangs on the work tables when production slows. He hasn't hit you yet. Yet, your job is sewing eyelets, the tiny holes where laces thread through on the insoles of sneakers. Brand name sneakers that cost $120 in the United States. Your part in that sneaker costs 0.4 cents. You don't know what $1 is worth. You don't know what the United States is. You only know the machine has to make the right stitch, and if it goes crooked, the supervisor makes you undo everything. The machine makes a sound that gets inside your head and stays. Click, click, click. Endless. 230 machines. Click, click, click. The sound enters your ears at 5:30 in the morning and doesn't leave until you put your head on the mattress at 11 at night. You have nightmares about the sound. You wake up and for a second, you don't know if it's a dream or real. Then you hear the real sound and you know it's real. There's a smell here you can't describe. Crypt industrial glue, synthetic fabric, machine oil, and something else acidic you can't identify. After 3 months, you stop smelling it. Your mother said it's because you got used to it. Wrong. Your smell receptors adapted to constant stimulation. But you don't know that. You just know when you visited the village for Chinese New Year. Your grandmother asked what that smell was. You said you couldn't smell anything. The cafeteria opens at 7 in the morning for 20 minutes. Rice, boiled vegetables, a piece of tofu. You eat fast. Everyone eats fast. If you're slow, the supervisor marks it down. 3 marks and you lose half your week's salary. Your weekly salary is 42 yuan, $11. That's what you're worth in 7 days of 16-hour days. 112 hours of work for $11. But you can't do math on proportions. Clue, you only know 42 yuan goes to your mother and she sends half to the village to pay the debt your father left when he died. Your father died of silicosis. You don't know what silicosis is. You know he worked in a coal mine and the cough got worse and one day he didn't wake up. You were 5 years old. You don't have a clear memory of his face. You remember his smell. Coal and a cheap perfume he wore on Sundays. You try to remember that smell sometimes while sewing eyelets. It doesn't help much, but it's what you have. This year is 2005, and there are more than 210 million children working in the world according to the International Labor Organization. 63% are in Asia. You are a statistic. You don't know that. You only know you have 16 hours of machine ahead, and if you complete your daily quota of 320 insoles, you can sit on the floor for 15 minutes while the adults change the thread spools. Quote, those 15 minutes on the floor are the best part of the day. You close your eyes, the machine noise becomes almost music when you stop fighting it. There's a girl named Zhao who sits near you during those breaks. She's 9 years old and came from the same province. She stares at the ceiling, moving her lips. You asked what she was doing. She said she was praying. You asked to whom. She said she didn't know, but someone had to be listening. You're not sure about that. Perfect, perfect. You can't keep stitching perfect for 16 straight hours. You can't hold concentration for 16 straight hours. Your 8-year-old brain was designed by evolution to play, explore, learn by trial and error, sleep 10 hours a night. It wasn't designed to stay hunched over an industrial machine longer than most adults could manage. But the brain is plastic. It adapts. It shuts down the parts that aren't necessary and activates the ones that are. Capacity for curiosity keeps decreasing. Your capacity to tolerate pain keeps increasing. That's the tragedy no one sees because it happens inside. It's 10 in the morning. You're halfway through your quota. Your spine hurts in a way that only hurts when you try to straighten up. So you stop straightening. You stay curved. The supervisor walked past twice. No comments. It's a good day. On bad days, he stands behind you for 1, 2, 3 minutes saying nothing, just watching, gazed on the back of your neck. You stitch faster. The stitch goes crooked. That's when the problem starts. In line for the noon lunch, there's a new little girl you don't know. She's about 7 years old. She's staring at her own hands with an expression you recognize. It's the expression of someone who just realized her hands don't obey what her brain commands anymore. It happens to everyone after 8, 9 hours of fine work. Your fingers go numb from movements, get mechanical but imprecise. It took you 3 weeks to learn to work with numb fingers. She hasn't learned yet. She will. You think sometimes about what you'd be when you grew up. When you were 5, you told your grandmother you wanted to be a teacher. You liked explaining things to your younger cousins. You liked the blackboard and the chalk. Now you rarely think about the future because the future is tomorrow, and tomorrow is exactly like today. 5:30 in the morning, clean 16 hours. 10 at night, 4 hours of sleep. Repeat, it's 3 in the afternoon. The light outside got different. You know it because there's a small window near your station. The light outside is that late afternoon color you connect with playing before dinner back in the village. There's no playing here. There's click, 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 and the counter of insoles at 212 out of 320. 108 insoles left. Each one takes just under 2 minutes. More than 3.5 hours of straight work ahead. You calculate this automatically now. You got good at calculating that. Supervisor Yang walks past and grabs 3 insoles from your pile. She inspects them. She puts 2 back and sets 1 aside. The stitch on the 3rd eyelet is less than 1 millimeter out of place. You have to undo it and redo it. You undo, you redo. You lose 7 minutes. The quota doesn't wait for 7 minutes. You speed up. Here, your fingers protest, but you can't hear that kind of protest anymore. It's 6 in the evening. The night shift is arriving, but the day shift isn't leaving. The factory runs 24 hours with 3 shifts. You're on the shift that started at 5:30. You leave at 10. Some adults stay for overtime. Overtime pays 50% more. Your mother does overtime every Thursday and Saturday. You can't do overtime. Kids can't. That's one of the few limits in this place. 8 at night. Quota is complete. 320 insoles. You should feel relief. You feel empty. 2 more hours until your shift ends. For those 2 hours, you do general work. Sweep the floor. Collect fabric scraps. Help reposition the spools. Body work, but at least not fine finger work. Your body thanks you even though you didn't ask. 10 at night. You and your mother walk the 400 meters to the dormitory. She doesn't talk much at night. Neither do you. Sharing room 2.5 meters by 3 with 4 other women and 2 other kids. 8 mattresses on the floor. You sleep on the same one as your mother. The ceiling has humidity that created a dark stain in the corner. You look at that stain every night before sleep. You figured out if you stare long enough, it looks like a dog. Sometimes it looks like a tree. You never told anyone that. You fall asleep before you even lie down. That's the gift exhaustion gives you. No time to think, glowing energy to feel. Just darkness, the mattress, and nothing. For hours. Then, 5:30 in the morning again. The machine, the 320 insoles, Supervisor Yang, the sound. In the year 2005, China exported shoes worth more than $16 billion. The main buyers were the United States, Europe, and Japan. Every shoe exported had a story like yours buried inside it. A story of numb fingers, curved spines. For hours of sleep and hands that stopped hurting, not because they're better, but because they went past the limit where pain can even register. You are 8 years old. You went to school for 2 years. You learned to count to 200. You can write your name. You don't remember anymore how a stain on a ceiling looks like a dog after you've slept enough to dream. But you know how to sew 320 insoles in 16 hours. You know how to eat in 20 minutes. You know how to walk 400 meters through darkness without tripping. And you know your hands don't hurt anymore. And that this is not good news. The shoe you helped make will appear in a window somewhere you'll never see. Someone will take it off the shelf and try it on. They'll say it fits great, they'll pay $120. The salesperson will wrap it, they'll take it home. They'll wear it running in the park or playing basketball with friends. It'll be an ordinary shoe, just a shoe. But inside each eyelet on the inside of the insole, there's a stitch you made with your 8-year-old fingers that don't hurt anymore. That won't be on the packaging. It never will be. If this video took you somewhere you didn't know you were going, subscribe. We tell the stories hidden inside the things you use. No filter, just the truth.